Oh, what's up? This is Dane. Dane is one of a client of mine, now a former client of mine. He's finished working with me, and if you would, I am obviously Ben. But so let's kind of get into your journey and like how this all started. I mean, I personally think you've had an incredible transformation since starting this journey. So where were you before we started working together? Like what was your situation like?
Oh, I mean, before we started working together, I had dabbled into Nofap and retention, and I had dabbled into this self-improvement journey, but I couldn't I couldn't get it to work. Like I didn't have the process figured out, and I was sort of lost and just gripped by this kind of addiction, and it's just something that I was real desperate to, you know, um, just kick. Like I needed to get rid of it. And it was like I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. And what was kind of like going on in your life at that point? Like what was the key reason that you kind of decided to sign up, decided to just think, you know what, let's do this. You know, I want this guy's help.
I I decided to go forward with it because as a Christian, these sins of the flesh and lust, it just gets in the way of my relationship with God. And that was the ultimate reason. Like it wasn't for any selfish reason to gain anything. It was just like I know this is evil and I need to just cut it out because it's getting in the way of me and God. And I'm like, I realized that it's for a bigger purpose. It's not just me.
Yeah, definitely, bro. We talked about like, you know, you wanted to find a wife, you wanted to, you know, be the masculine man, be able to tap into that. And obviously this addiction, this vice is something that's just holding you back from that. It's like, you know, let's dedicate some time to handle this. So what changed as a result of us doing that? Like what changed since we worked together?
I mean, what's there's a lot that's changed. I mean, a lot of it wasn't as much physical. Like it was just a lot of like I could feel physically better, 100% better, but mental clarity and just like drive and motivation was definitely heightened. It was just I have a lot more just I feel like clear focus, mental clarity of just, what I want to do in life and just I want to go after, the purpose that has been set before me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was very interesting to watch your journey, like go through a lot of struggles, and you know, I'm sure you would agree. By no means is this process easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And but yeah, you definitely pushed through. And some, do you feel like you had like quite a lot of epiphanies in that time and
Yeah, I went
realizations?
through Yeah, I went through a lot of realizations. Like I realized it was good and bad, but yeah, it definitely wasn't easy at all. Like there was definitely a point in my journey where there's just a lot of realization of like um it was just like I had all this stuff like in my head and my life that I didn't realize needed tending to. And I was also faced with a realization of like wondering what am I doing in life and like who am I? Kind of these bigger picture questions that I hadn't really been able to dabble into. And they were quite hard to face. Like there was just character flaws and everything. I was just like didn't know this is didn't notice it was there. And definitely I notice it now.
Definitely, man. And do you feel like you're being kind of looking at porn and masturbation, etc.? Like, was that blocking that? Was that stopping you from kind of facing and solving those problems?
Oh, absolutely. It was just totally getting in the way. I mean, if anything, it was bringing it more down, like all the stress and bad things that I wasn't paying attention to, it just made it even worse. Like it was a huge, probably the biggest distraction ever.
Yeah, definitely, bro. And like, how long did it kind of take to start seeing these kind of changes and seeing these results? Like, since we started working together, how long did that take?
I would say after about 50, 60 days. Like it took a while. And like during the 50, 60 day mark was when I was going through like a lot of that real mental funk, kind of clarity realization phase. And that was definitely um probably one of the hardest parts. But that was after I got past that point, that's when I started seeing like real improvement. It wasn't any just energy and motivation, like it was going beyond that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. No, it's crazy, man. And you've done so well. Like you've really worked hard to apply the principles and do the techniques, etc., to kind of help and make sure you know, you have that strong why, that strong reason, etc. But how does it feel now to actually be sat on the other side and use what you set out to do to actually have accomplished it? How does that feel?
It feels incredible. Like just I feel I don't even know. I feel more like just free. Like it's I don't even know how else to describe it. Like you don't realize you're in such a trap until you get out of the trap. And then once I
Yeah,
got out of the trap, I turn back and I look, I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm about face and turning the other way now. Like it was definitely something you don't notice until you look back. You're like, wow, like what was I doing?
definitely, bro. And the thing the part of the coaching that's important for me is like it's not just about hitting a new streak. It's about like getting to a point where you don't even want like even the thought of going back to your old self almost disgusts you. Like, do you feel that's kind of the way you feel? Like where you're actually happy, this you're more fulfilled in this state than what you formerly were.
Yeah, absolutely. Like now that like when I look back on it, like just yeah, the thought of just going back to those ways, it doesn't as much like disgust me because it still does, but it also just I'm just like, why? I don't want it. I don't need it. Like I recognize the clarity of like how evil and destructive this is. And I just I don't want any part of it. I really don't. And that's just something that I didn't know if I would ever get to that point.
Mm. And do you feel like you've made it basically to that stage?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just something that I'm confident in saying. Like
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
enjoy that stuff. I don't like it. Like it's awful.
For sure. And with that being said, like now you're in this position, moving forward in your life, I'm sure you would agree that you've almost kind of got this area of your life handled. So it's not really at the forefront of your mind. So what does that mean, like for you in terms of the rest moving forward now? Like where do you see yourself in 12 months? Like what is possible with when you're operating from this state?
Oh, I mean, it's feels like the sky's the limit. I mean, practically though, like 12 months from now, I could be self-sufficient, like running my own business, could be married. I could, I feel like I could be, if I don't have these big goals that I want, I'll be well on the path to achieve those things. Like it's just nothing happens overnight. So 12 months from now, I may not have everything I want, obviously, but I'm gonna be, 12 months closer. And it's just like I feel like anything could happen for me now, like all for the better. Like it's just getting
Yeah.
vertical, sky's the limit. Like
And with kind of this being your foundation, like being your default state, like do you think like with that those things are much more obtainable, whereas before if you were in the state you were in, like addicted to porn, etc., that you would those things still be possible in your eyes? Do you think you still be able to accomplish those feats that you want to accomplish in life?
if I was still doing those things,
Yeah, like you before the coaching, like do you think you would have that mindset of like anything's possible?
no. I mean, I would try to like I could think like big, but I wouldn't believe like in myself. Like it never would have came across my mind where I'd have been like, yeah, I can definitely do that and I'm going to do that. I would have never had that mentality.
For sure, man. But yeah, no, it's been crazy. It's been a great journey watching you grow and get this handled. I see how much hard work you put in, and like just just yeah, every day showing up, being holding yourself accountable, making that commitment, and here you are, like doing great in a better position for it. So yeah, super proud, and happy to say you were one of my clients. Great to get to share this testimony. You know, future guys who might have been in your position can see this and think, hey, maybe I should do this. You know, so yeah, man, it's been great speaking to you, Dane. Any final things? Any final comments or anything?
Uh, Not a whole lot. I mean, it's just this is this is something that I believe any man can do. Like I believe that if this is not something that is impossible to do, if I can do it, countless other men can do it. Like this is something that we as men need to get rid of and really just attack and get rid of this evil and just fight the good fight. And I believe we can do it. Like it's not like an impossible task. It's something that men can do. And I believe anyone that wants to do it, I believe they can do it. It's it's just that simple.
And you're living proof. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. Anyway, okay, cool. So yeah, that's it, guys.